Yo, what is up, everybody? What is up? This is your brother Shamar with Ancient Watchmen. Once again, we're back. We're back at it again. It's been a while since we've done a live, but I just wanted to come out here and just kind of share a little bit of my spiritual experience that I've been doing lately, and give you guys pointers here and there so that you guys can also help yourselves out within your spiritual evolution. You know what I'm saying? But welcome to live. Welcome to live. Stick around. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Give us a like. Share our videos if you like our content. I know I haven't been. What would you call it? I haven't been constant lately. I've been busy, real busy. And it's been such an amazing journey that I would like to share part of it. So stick around. We're gonna talk about, share a few things with the community. Anybody that's interested to talk, anybody that wants to check us out or share or challenge what I'm sharing, you guys are more than welcome to come into the panel and talk with me. I know there's a lot of misunderstandings that been going on for quite some time because, the religious mindset that a lot of people have. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about, because it's been interesting. So other than that, let me kind of share what I've been up to. I went to this brother's channel the other day, and if you guys want to go check out the podcast, go check it out. It was a great podcast. It was a great night. I went over there and share about what the Bible is really about, right? Because there's a lot of misunderstandings from a lot of religious folks out there, especially like you guys know that I used to be part of the Black Hebrew Israelites, aka the racist cults out there that are preaching hatred and division in the streets of America today. And that cancer, that sickness, that disease of a religious mindset is being scattered across by various people. And so when they come across people like myself and other people that are not subscribing to the biblical ideology anymore, all of a sudden we are labeled, witches and bug outs and whatnot. There's a lot of names out there that we're given because we don't subscribe to the narrative. We don't subscribe to the ideology. So other than that, check this out. That's the Brothers' channel. Go check it out.
Interesting. So I wanted to just see what y'all was saying, pick the brain of the brother that was on here. I'm kind of familiar with Ancient Watchman from back in the day. That's why I said that I know that he used to somewhat claim Israelite understanding a couple years ago or so. So I guess I really wanted to know, like, in his studies, what was the turning point or the pivot for him from actually coming from that frame of thought and understanding to where you're currently at now? Like, what was that moment that stuck out to you to where you was like, there's a deeper understanding going on?
Yeah, man, that's a beautiful question, man. Hey, shalom, man. Peace out. Peace to you and your family.
Thank you.
And everybody else watching.
Bro.
Thank you for being here, everybody, and giving me a chance to speak my mind without judgment. But what was the turning point for me? I think the turning point for me was 2 years ago when I went into battle mode, like completely against the camps, and I began pushing out the doctrine of Canaan. Now, when you guys study the doctrine of Canaan, you guys are gonna find out that Noah was given the ability to curse a certain bloodline of people, one of the sons of Ham, which was Canaan, right? To be the lowest of all the slaves on the planet. So then I began to think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I was pushing this doctrine out, against the One West camps, the BHI,
Right.
because a lot of the doctrines that were pushing out against Hispanics and natives, I didn't agree with a lot of stuff. I still don't agree with a lot of the teachings that they push out. But regardless, the turning point was that I began to question the book, because the book, it seems to have some sort of hatred against African nations. And me, before coming into the camps, I was always cool with like African American brothers and sisters. I never had any animosity against them. It was until I came into the Black Hebrew Israelites that they made me like be divided, because you belong to this camp. It's like cliques. Every camp is a clique. Like GMS, they hate IUIC with their guts. Yet they claim that they love God. You know what I'm saying? Like, thou shalt love your brother like yourself. Like, wait a minute, you guys are cursing your own brothers and sisters. Like all that stuff it just make me think. And I stepped back a little bit. I'm like, why are we preaching to the entire nations, the God's creation, that they're gonna be in slaves, and that we're gonna whipping like we got whipped and whatever, and why are we paying back? So I began to think about the vibration of this God, and how this God has been pushing this ideology of hatred and division and genocide. Anyway, so that's the podcast I was part of last week, I believe, and it was a great podcast. It was a great bill with Cosman from the WASPy gang. Shout out to brother Cosman, brother Sila Shalom on Facebook, and the rest of the OASP gang on Facebook. I'm part of a group over there, and these brothers are bringing it out. These brothers are challenging the status quo, the Bible, the ideology that has been pushed out to the entire world to deceive the masses. And so this is what I want to get into just a little bit. Once again, this is your brother Shamar with the Ancient Watchman. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the Friday Night Miami. Stick around. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this book right here. It's called Shamanism for Beginners: Walking with the World's Healers of Earth and Sky, by James Endry, right there. All right, so that's what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna read a few pages from there, and then expound a little bit on that, and then right after that we're gonna close it. But thanks for tuning in. Elizabeth Weaver, Shalom. Welcome to the live. How's everybody doing? What's the weather like over there in various parts? I know that Minnesota is going through a storm right now. There's like really weird and strange weather patterns out there. I don't know if you guys pay attention to that, but a lot of people do not understand, like, when you guys go back into the history, right? When you guys study the Younger Dryas, right? Let me write that down for people that are gonna come in later on. Younger Dryas. All right. So when you study the Younger Dryas, right? You're gonna find out that there was an ice age that destroyed a lot of the places all over the world. And And so that's basically roughly 8,000 years ago. So if that was 8,000 years ago plus what's 5,000 years since we discovered that there was writing systems going back to the Sumerians, which is 5,000 years ago. So eight plus 8,000 years plus 5,000 years, that's 13,000 years. So that's roughly when the Younger Dryas happened and took place. So a lot of people, a lot of scientists are saying that the world is due for the next one. And as we know today, if you guys go and research, right, never take my word for anything that I'm saying, right? Everything that I say is because I came across the information, I read it myself, I have books, I've researched it myself as well, and corroborated the information with various books and even scientists themselves. So when I tell you these things, I tell you guys out of memory. And if I tell you stuff like you guys' job is to go and research, obviously I know that I'm not lying, and I'm not gonna come out here and lie. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the lie, everybody. So anyway, so what I'm saying is that there's weird weather patterns that took place in LA, in Los Angeles, California, the West Coast, and various places throughout the United States. Now, again, a lot of scientists are saying that we are due for the next one. And so you guys study that, you guys are gonna find out that the magnetic pole is shifting eastward to the east, 8 kilometers per year. 8 kilometers per year. The magnetic pole is shifting, so it's called the magnetic reversal. But a lot of scientists say that during the Younger Dryas, the magnetic shift took place like overnight, basically freezing animals and trees and everything else in its path. And obviously, you guys can find out mammoths. They found mammoths with like fresh grass in their bellies. So the polar reversal, or the magnetic reversal, they call it the magnetic reversal. It's coming up. It's coming up, and this information that I'm talking about, it was brought out 7 years ago, and a lot of people didn't really pay attention to it. They just took it as like, oh, doomsday speech or whatever they like, and it's really not. This is why, like, a lot of the governments of the world are not gonna tell you this information. Why? Because they don't want the world to panic. But what you guys are seeing right now is kind of like the beginning stages of a magnetic reversal that might take place. Who knows when? Because we're not scientists, so we don't know. But the scientists are talking about this, and they know what's going on. But anyway, what's going on the news, man? A lot of people are just, falling for the lies, falling for the narrative out there on the media, right? You guys know what's going on with like a lot of train derailments and whatnot. The balloon of China, quote unquote, the balloon on China, supposedly flying over the states for over 7 years. Think about this, right? Just think about the logic behind what they're saying. Now, just think about it, right? If the Chinese balloons have been flying over the United States over the past 7 years, wouldn't you think somebody, at least one person out of the 7 years that these balloons supposedly been around, you don't think someone would have been like, hey, by the way, there's some balloon flying around, like what's going on? Right? Of course not. Why? Because they waited until like somebody was on the hot seat, and that somebody is Joe Biden and his son and Dr. Fauci and everybody else. And I don't want to go into detail a lot in depth because there's been videos that have been taken down by YouTube. I have 3 videos that I've done, 3 lies, beautiful podcasts that I've done, where I brought out a lot of information regarding the jab. You guys know what I'm talking about? The jab. I'm speaking in code for those who don't know what I'm talking about. And so my my YouTube videos were taken down, and so I don't want to go into detail, but there's a lot of stuff that's been going on that a lot of people are paying attention to the so-called balloon of China, quote unquote, right? A lot of people are paying attention to the UFO shutdown supposedly in Canada, right? Just think about it. It's pretty nuts. So the people are being distracted, not only mentally, but spiritually as well, right? And it's all connected, right? Religion and politics, it's all connected. The things that we eat, the things that we consume, it's all connected, right? Everything that we consume, the foods, the GMO foods, the TV entertainment systems, Netflix and whatnot. A lot of the things that we are consuming, the music industry is one of the greatest. Uh, what would you call it? One of the greatest ideas that was created in order for them to control the minds of the people, right? That's what's going on. And so when you guys watch the news, CNN, Fox, and you guys are being told that there's a Chinese balloon spy that been flying around for 7 years, like you got to step back and think about it. Like, wait a minute, wouldn't somebody should have said something on, back then? Why are they saying this now? Why all of these quote unquote news are being brought and blasted all over the news mediums, right? Why? Because they're distracting you for what's really going on, right? They're trying to go to war with Russia. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. They're trying to go to war with Russia, right? And I'm gonna show you later on what the Russian president said about what's really going on with the West, right? Because if you guys connect, right, you guys research the World Economic Forum, right? And maybe this video might be taken down because what I'm about to say, right? Either way, whoever's gonna watch it, great. So the World Economic Forum, right? There's a group led by Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab, right, is the leader of this organization of a bunch of globalists that are gathering together, planning a complete takeover of the world at an economic level, at a food supply levels, and whatnot, right? And so the whole derailment thing that was just it's all connected. Like if you guys begin to like go on Twitter, right? As a matter of fact, let me show you real quick. Let me show you. Welcome to the live, everybody. Welcome to the live.
And specifically, so NSA whistleblower, an American hero in my mind, and on this show's mind, I believe, agrees with us here at Redacted, as we've been warning you over the past few days, that all of this UFO talk is just a distraction. Just a distraction to take your mind off of what's really going on here. Take your mind off of Seymour Hersh and his bombshell reporting on the Nord Stream pipeline that the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Where'd that story go? Where's the mainstream media coverage of that story? Arguably one of the biggest stories in 100 years, that the U.S. carried out one of the biggest ecological terrorist attacks of all time against our allies in the EU. But no, there's no coverage of it. So it's all distraction.
Derailed Friday, 20 of them carrying hazardous materials as flames lit up the sky in northeastern Ohio.
The evacuation order is in place for anyone within a mile radius of the crash site.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit! The fucking shit that burned off in East Palestine! This is not fucking storm clouds! Look at it! Horrible! I got arrested because of a live report about people today.
Officials are claiming that the air and water are safe. Residents say they can still smell chlorine. They've complained about their eyes watering when they go outside, and one woman says the noxious air killed her chickens.
Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard and just shut down and went very fast.
Look at all these fucking crows. I'm not kidding. This is within 10 miles of East Palestine.
If you have not evacuated, please leave the area.
So that's what's going on. They're pushing an agenda. They're pushing a fear mongering agenda. Now, a lot of people that are within the conscious community, they might be like, why are you pushing negative news, negative this, negative that? Well, let me tell you guys the truth about the New Age movement, right? The New Age movement has been taken over by who knows who and who knows what. You guys know what I'm talking about. We're referring to, spiritual entities that are influencing certain people to push out the idea that it's all about love and love and love and love and love and light. And even though that's the highest vibration, even though that's the idea, there has to be a balance, and the balance has to be exposed by the light. By the light, the darkness has to be exposed by the light, right? So we have to bring out these darkness that's going on in the world, because that's the reality. A lot of people are being distracted now. These derailments, they're not on purpose. I mean, they're on purpose, and the purpose, again, it goes in connection with what I was telling you guys about the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, led by Klaus Schwab, it's a bunch of globalists gathering together to plan ahead, because they're really like wanting to take over. That's the whole plan. They want humans to fully depend on the government, and this is why they're making it illegal for you to grow your own crops. This is why a lot of farmers are going out of business all over the world, especially in the United States during the pandemic. And again, I don't want to go dive deeper into these, because the video might be taken down. So I'm just gonna stop right there. You brothers go and research. But anyways, so that's what's going on, and we're in the midst of a war, not only in the physical but in the spiritual as well, right? Let's see. Right. So, yeah, before we move on, I just wanted to bring this information out, so you guys are aware that everything's connected, right? The human race has been led into deception and lies through the Judeo Christian religions all throughout the world. Whether you call yourself a Catholic, whether you call yourself a Jehovah Witness, whether you call yourself a Black Hebrew Israelite or a Hebrew Israelite or a Jewish man or a woman, um, whatever religion that is rooted into the Judeo-Christian roots, it's all lies. Okay, it's all lies, and I invited anybody that's watching, or anybody that wants to challenge what I'm saying. I can show you the information. We can go over the ancient manuscripts that predate the Bible. We can go into primary sources as well. I can use your own Torah as to show you guys that what you guys believe is lies, deception, following false gods and stuff. And so even the New Testament talks about that the God of this world has blinded the eyes of the people, right? And so that's it's all in connection. So watch this. Now, let's see right there.
Fact that Russia cannot be defeated on the battlefield. So they're waging increasingly aggressive information attacks. First of all, targeting young generations, lying on every step, distorting historical truth, attacking our culture, the Russian Orthodox Church, and other traditional religious institutions in our country. Now look at what they're doing with their own peoples. They're destroying the institution of family, their cultural and historical identity, and various perversions with regard to children up to pedophilia are accepted as the new norm, and priests are forced to recognize and officiate same-sex weddings. People can live however they want, and we in Russia have never intruded into people's private life, and we're not going to do that. But what we want to say is maybe they should take a look in the scripture into the holy book of any great religion, it says that the family is a union between woman and man. And these holy texts are now being increasingly doubted in the West. The Anglican Church is now considering the idea of a gender-neutral God. What can we say? God forgive them.
Oh man.
They don't know what they're doing. They cannot ignore the fact that Russia cannot be defeated on the battlefield. So they're waging increasingly aggressive.
Anyway, so that's what's going on, you know. Even it's funny, I laugh because it's funny that Russian president is preaching the gospel to the world, especially to the United States, because he is referring to the United States. He's referring to the Pope that they want to make God transsexual or whatever, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so he's referring of the fall of Babylon, of the fall of America. That's basically what he's saying, because that's exactly how Rome fell. But what he's saying is telling the world that the United States media is twisting the idea that Russia is the one that is committing the crimes against against Ukraine, and that's not even true. That's completely false. Uh, the United States, the Joe Biden administration wants to use an excuse to create a proxy war with Russia, right? Why? This is the why, right? This is exactly why they want to do that. They want to instigate a war. They want to instigate Russia so that they can go to a nuclear war, right? Obviously, Russia doesn't want to do that, because Russia knows that if they do that, if Russia goes into a nuclear war with the United States, it's gonna be basically the end of the world. That's it. Nobody's gonna be alive. Even like some years ago, I made a TikTok, right, when I had a TikTok before TikTok was taken down. Before they took down my TikTok channel, I made a TikTok where Putin said that if we go to a nuclear war, there will be no survivors and there will be no winners. Those are his words. You guys can look him up online. He did an interview. And so the United States wants to create a proxy war. Why? Because they want the World Economic Forum and the globalists that gather together in the G20 summit that they do every year or whatever, in which they plan, or they're planning ahead to basically take over the world in every facet of society, right? The way we think, the way we consume media, what we read, what we are taught, the type of truth that has to be brought out. And so farther and farther and farther and farther away, the truth is being hidden, right? And so that's why you see us like myself, you see other people that are bringing a lot of information out. You see brothers from the OASP gang. Shout out to brothers out there putting in the work, great work. And once again, I did a podcast on Cosmon TV. Shout out to the brother. He invited me to be on his channel, so I went over there and share my experience of a fraction of what I've been through. But this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's really something going on that we're not being told. You know. Let's see. Hold on. Let me change the settings here. Yeah. So for those who don't know, this is my my Twitter. It's called Shamar right there, Ancient Watchman. So go check it out. But you know, this is where I post like most of the political I don't know, information that a lot of people bring out. And so there's a lot of stuff going on that you know, a lot of people are not even aware of. So shout out to everybody that's putting in the work and helping the community, helping the people to come out of the lies in every way. And one of the aspects of those lies is the religious institutions right now. And so that's the journey I've been on for quite some time. But now, as some of you guys know, that I'm on the shamanic pathway, and that's what we're gonna be talking about in a minute later. I'm gonna read a few pages from this book. We're gonna expound a little bit on it, and we're gonna call it a night, just to give you an example, you know. So, welcome to the live, everybody. Welcome to the live. Let's see what we got. Yeah, anybody that wants to come on the show, I'm gonna share the link. If anybody wants to chat about or ask me any questions, you guys can do so live, or you can type in your questions um, on the chat. But welcome to live, everybody. Welcome to live. The link is in the chat room right now. If anybody is interested in coming on the panel, speak your piece, share your information, or you guys want to ask me a question live. I'm here to answer any questions you guys would like to ask me in any matter. And I say that because earlier today you have Judah Natsara. For those who don't know, he's he's a preacher that lives in Japan. He preaches about the Bible. He's like a Christian preacher, I think. And I was able to, challenge him many times. He never came on the show to speak his piece, but a lot of these brothers go on my Facebook page and they just want to go and spy, see what I'm doing now these days. And some of them share, they make posts about my post to basically slander my name or try to slander and say, well, what is this? What's going on here? Look what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? As to try to shame me because I'm on a different plane, or I'm in a different path. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that, hey, I'm better than you, I know more than you. I'm not saying none of that, but I'm saying that I'm on a different path right now. I don't subscribe to the Black Hebrew Israelite ideology. I don't subscribe to the whole tribalism. I don't subscribe to the whole racism and the cultish idea from the Black Hebrew Israelite movement that I was part of for 8 years. And so anybody that wants to talk and that wants to dialogue with me on any matter and any topic of what I used to believe back in the day, you guys are more than welcome to click the link. Other than that, welcome to live, everybody. Welcome to live. All right, everybody. So I guess nobody wants to come on the show, but those who are watching in the background, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to live once again. I'm going to share briefly what I've been up to, these past, whatever, year. And, I'm just going to summarize it. I'm not going to go into detail. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to left out. Some of it is very private. But some of it I share on Facebook for those who are part of my friends list on Facebook. Shada. Thank you for checking my channel as well on Guardians of Truth. We have a group over there that you guys can check out where we post a lot of stuff. Just anything goes over there. Obviously, anything respectful, What's up? Oh, you can't talk, huh? You're on mute.
Now I can.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, how are you? Hi, everyone.
Yeah, this is Alicia. Once again, those who don't know, we met during our combo training. We became combo practitioners. So she was there for the training. That's where we met. Just a bunch of beautiful souls, beautiful people. I know I haven't kept in touch with a lot of brothers from the combo community, but yeah, we're out here. We're doing the work, and a lot of you guys are also doing the work. I know people are traveling down to South America to sit down with like powerful plant medicines and going down the path of healing themselves, because that's the path. When we begin to heal ourselves, we can heal the world, right? That's the whole idea of why a lot of people need to step back from what we believe. And once again, I told you guys my story briefly here and there, but Alicia, welcome to the live. What's going on? Are you there? Yeah, I guess I don't know what happened, but yeah. So where were we? Yeah. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna read the book. Oh, you back? Can you hear me or no?
I'm back. I
Okay,
think
cool.
I had an internet connection problem.
Yeah, a little bit. What's going on? What's new with you? Tell me a story. Talk to me.
Nothing. Pretty doing pretty well.
Uh-huh.
Doing a lot of health and wellness retreats and working with some plant medicine workers in my area lately.
Cool. Yeah. I know that there's gonna be a tour from the brothers from the Amazon, right? Are you planning to go, or is this something that you maybe gonna left out for the year? Or?
No, definitely. I plan on going. I think they're coming back in the late summer, early fall, and
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think she's having internet connections. Randy Torres, I'm always at peace, brother.
I think I'm back again.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, you're there. Yeah, I don't know with this. She's having issues with the internet. Randy Torres, shalom, brother. Yeah, I'm at peace. I've always have nothing but love for everybody, even though a lot of brothers from the quote unquote Black Hebrew Israelites, quote unquote the chosen people of God, have lied against me, have slandered my name, have wished many evils against me, and a lot of stuff has turned back on them. So nothing but love for me to you guys, but you guys know how you guys acted in the past. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to amend all of that to whoever you think you're praying to. But I got nothing, no hatred against none of you. And just because I'm on a different path doesn't mean that I hate you guys. Just because I'm on a different path doesn't mean that I worship the devil, or that I worship demons, or that I worship the sun or the moon or the stars or angels or this and that and the third. That's not what's going on. And this is why I do the lives. And every time I do the lives, if you guys notice, I invite everybody to come in onto the panel to ask your questions to me directly, instead of slandering my name out there like a lot of you guys have done for the past 8 years. But again, I've always been here, but with nothing but love to every single one of you. And every time I show that to you guys return it with evil, right? Which it's pretty crazy to me that a lot of you guys claim to follow God, to call you guys the sons of God, and and the chosen Israelites of God and whatnot, when you guys act like devils, straight up. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Alicia's. Alicia, I don't know what's going on with your signal. If you wanna come back again, let me know. But yeah, so I'm on a different path. I don't subscribe to the Bible as completely fully. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I don't subscribe to the Bible completely fully like a lot of people do. I question a lot of stuff from the Bible itself. I question a lot of books. I question a lot of narratives that you guys read in the Bibles. And when I question it, I go and research, and so I come across information that corroborates with my internal self. Like your spiritual self, your spiritual man. It tells you certain things, right? When you guys begin to your spiritual walk on this world, when you guys begin to peel the layers of deception and whatnot, you guys are gonna begin to sharpen your intuition, right? And when you guys sharpen your intuition, you're gonna begin to have revelations, right? And those revelations are gonna come in the forms of thoughts or downloads within your spirit that you're gonna know. There's gonna be information that's gonna be downloaded in your mind, in your spirit, right? That's what you guys call in the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and 8, when it talks about the new covenant, in which like the sons of God are not gonna have the need to be taught. Why? Because you guys are gonna learn um, in private by the Spirit, by the Great Spirit, or Mother Wisdom, or whatever you want to call it, right? Let me see. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on with her signal. I don't know what's going on with your signal, sis. But hopefully, it's stronger, so you can come back and share a little bit. But yeah. So where were we? I was reading the book of the scenes. I read the all the books. And this past week, I just completely focused on reading all the books of the scenes, the Gospel of Peace, the book of creation of the scenes, some of the books of Moses, the Apocalypse of Moses, and all these other books. And I just dive deep into the story, right? And briefly, right? A lot of the things that you guys read in your Bibles. This is why I'm telling you guys that I question a lot of the stuff that you guys read in your Bibles, especially like the commandments where your God tells you to go kill people, especially the commandments in the Torah where the Mosai tells you to go and commit genocide, enslave other people, kill babies, rape women, and all these other things that are found in the Bible, in the Torah, right? In the Torah. So I question a lot of stuff. And because I question a lot of the things that you guys believe, you guys demonize me, but you guys should be looking at yourselves, because you guys are believing in this ideology and dogmas that are based on genocide and slavery and sacrificing humans and killing children and animals and don't leave anything alive and this and that and the third. So there's a lot of things that I question from the Bible, and I began to question that for years. Like, my path is not just when I was part of the Black Hebrew Israelites 8 years ago. My path goes back to 20 years ago when I was part of the Christian church, and I began to question the Bible because of the Sumerian tablets and whatnot. So I've been on the path for quite some time, and me saying this is not boasting myself, saying that I'm better than you or I'm on a different level, but I'm saying that I've been around to know that a lot of things that that are found within the scriptures are not divinely inspired, right? And I know it's gonna be Ayash or Oscar or Shamar, the ancient watchman, is saying it's a heretic now. It's saying heresies, right? But I challenge everybody, right? I challenge those people right now, or any day of the day, right? That you guys wanna challenge me on what I'm saying. I can show you guys in your own text. I can show you uh, the contradictions between the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the New Testament itself within the New Testament itself, and also within the Old Testament itself as well. I can use the Bible and show you guys that a lot of the stuff that you guys are subscribing to is demonic ideologies that were brought here by fallen entities that they don't have their best interest in humanity, right? So once again, I am out here challenging you guys' belief systems, and we can come in dialogue. You can click the link, or else you can we can set up a debate. We can set up a conversation. We can set up a dialogue if you guys want. I'm really open to talk to a lot of these leaders, right? From GMS, from ISUPK, from IUIC, and everybody else that calls themselves Black Hebrew Israelites. Oh well, I'm here to tell you guys that what you guys believe is demonic ideologies, right? That's basically it, and I can actually prove it out of your own Bibles. But the problem with that is that a lot of people they're so indoctrinated that whenever you bring out other information that clashes with their information, they try to demonize you instead of trying to analyze what is being brought forth and do the research yourself. Like your Bibles tells you, like it's better to research before bringing judgment on the matter. Yep. Snoopy Eats 408. Welcome, welcome to live, brother. I know you had a question about lucid dreaming, right, and prophetic dreaming. I'm gonna speak about that in a minute, but welcome to live, brother. Welcome to live. Yeah, like I said, brother, I've been at peace. Even when I was going to war with a lot of you guys, and you guys went to war with me, so I'm always at peace. Yeah, Snoopy Eats. Let me know if you want to come on the show. You can click the link right there, and I'll bring you on to the panel. But Alicia, you there? Oh, you back?
Yeah, I think.
Perfect. Perfect.
So sorry.
No, it's all right. You're right. Cool. So yeah, so you've been up to you've been doing sacred circles and whatnot.
Oh yes. Been doing full moon beach gatherings once a month, and that's been really nice as well. Just touched base with sound alchemy as of lately, and that's been going really well in the circles.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to travel this summer coming up. I'm planning to travel to Minnesota first and foremost to visit my mom and my siblings, and then right after that, I wanna do like a mini tour down to visit you guys. I wanna visit you. I wanna visit whoever's on the way. I don't know. I'll have to plan it out, but I was thinking that yeah, we could plan some sacred circles that we can be part of and spread the word so that we can gather around in a big circle and offer. You there?
We have some lined up. I believe, you remember Stephanie and Cartidius. We'll be doing one in Arizona, in Phoenix this year.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yep, we're also going to be doing one here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're going to have them come over on this way, so that would be perfect, I think, if you're coming in the summer.
Yeah, well, do you know when in the summer though?
We haven't locked the date yet, so this is perfect because you had just sparked interest. So now we can kind of collaborate on when we're all feeling as far as time, and then we could go from there. But yeah, I'm pretty open to the time in the summer.
Perfect. They said that you're echoing. I don't know why.
Did it stop?
I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, let's talk in private about these for sure. I want to be I want to see you guys again. I want to see everybody, because I kind of been disconnected from the chat group over there on the other what would you call it, the other chat group that we have, right? I've been out of it. I've been really busy with my own like I have to tell you guys in private though, but because this is very personal. But when we talk on Monday or when we meet, I'll be able to share. But it's been very intense, like spiritually, emotionally, even at a physical level. You can feel like when you guys do energy work, like when you guys deepen into the energy work of yourselves, and yeah, like you really begin to shed layers from yourself, and you begin to cleanse energetically. Like it's gonna take a toll on your body, right? You're gonna feel so tired, like because you're doing so much revolutions within your spiritual self, and it's work. It takes works, and so spiritual work is not just
It's a
like
journey.
it's a journey, right? It's a path. It's a you're doing it every day. You're making mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've said the wrong thing once in a while. I've acted, in ways that I should have not acted. But we check ourselves. We have to check ourselves and be like, oh, wait a minute, that's not cool, man. That's not. And so, but we begin to balance ourselves out because we can't always be just love and light, love and light, love and light. We have to address certain darkness that take place in the world. We have to speak about it. We have to
It's about the
expose it.
healthy balance, the
Right,
marriage of the two.
right, exactly. So it's been very interesting for me that there's a lot of personal stuff that I like to share with you guys when we meet, and maybe share with the sacred circle when you guys do it. But it's been powerful, and I invite everybody. And what I'm sharing right now is just a fraction of my own spiritual experience. Like Alicia over here, she has her own spiritual experience, and what she's gone through. She's gone through different things that I've gone through. I've gone through different things that she has. She has different levels of understanding that I do, and so, but we're all on the way of healing ourselves and aligning our spirits with the divine, because that's the whole point. It's for us to begin to be brave enough to leave these books aside, like the Bible and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that the Bible is all evil and bad, or like all the books. Every book on the world, every scripture on the world, whether it be the the Quran, the Bible, the Nahamadi, the DSS, the Book of the Scenes, the Gospel of Peace, the Book of Creation, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I can mention many books. All those books that I just mentioned, they all have wisdom. They all have knowledge. They all have different levels of understanding. And even beyond those books, even behind those books, there's many manuscripts that predate those. So there's a lot of knowledge, and I do not shun none of it. I welcome all the knowledge because we all learn from everywhere. Knowledge is like the ocean, the waters. The waters are everywhere. If you, on the four corners of the earth. The Mayam, welcome to Friday Night Mayam. The word Mayam means water in the Hebrew. Mayam means knowledge. Knowledge is scattered abroad, right? So, but what I'm talking about is we have to really use our intuitive selves, right? Our intuitive selves in order to analyze what we've been given as a belief systems. Once again, whether you be a Catholic, Jehovah Witness, Black Hebrew Israelite, Jewish man or woman, among other religions, right? And I'm not, you know, talking evil against the people that follow those religions because they themselves think that that's the path that they're following because of the customs and the that they follow. The parents believe that, now you believe it, and you pass it down to your children and your children's children without questioning. And so I've questioned the text. I have questioned the Bible. I've read the Bible. I read it in
Those are
Hebrew.
considered the generational curses.
Right. And they speak about it in the Bible, in the book of the Deuteronomy chapter 28, when it talks about the curses that fell upon the Israelites. And so, things like that, like when a God is able to curse you instead of bless you, it's pretty wild to me. So, that's just, I don't want to go into that, but I'm pointing out the fact that people like Alicia over here, people like myself, and there's other people out there that are following their own self cultivation. When we learn how to self cultivate ourselves in our own path, we will not have to depend on a priest or what would you call it, a pastor or a leader from any of these churches, right? Because now you're connecting with source, like literally connect. There's a direct connection, and that was one of the symbolisms of, like, quote unquote, the death of Christ when he quote unquote died. Now, I'm not saying that Christ died, because I do not believe that Christ died. Again, I can prove it as well in the Nag Hammadi scrolls that predate the Bible for 120 years. So I can go into the text and show you that there was no man named Christ that died, which it was an invention of Rome in order for mankind to put their trust in a dead man instead of putting your trust in your own self, in your own power, in your own ability that was given to you by the divine, by source, by the Father, by Mother, right? And so that's what I want to get you guys to understand, that you guys have the kingdom inside of yourselves, right? The kingdom lies in yourselves. The flesh is just a shell, right? The way we look in our hair and the color of our skin and how short we are, how tall you are, how thick you are, and this and that and third. That doesn't, it's important because we have to take care of our bodies, but we are more than our fleshbacks. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience in this three-dimensional world. Okay, and so while we traverse this plane of existence in the three-dimensional world, we have to rediscover our own divinity in order for us to ascend, right? That's the idea. And so by being part of our religious dogmatic ideologies, you enslave your mind and your soul into these systems, so that you're not capable to wake up and realize, hey, I am a divine being. I can self cultivate my own spiritual path, and so that's where I'm at right now. Nessie Green Eyes, Shalom says, welcome to live. Roscoe, what's up, man? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? You never come on the show, man. Like some of you guys, you guys been here around with me for quite some time, and you guys never been able to come on the show. I'm gonna share the link. Be brave, guys. I'm not gonna buy it for sure, but yeah. What's your take on vivid dreams? Like, can you kind of expand a little bit? I know, what's his name? Snoopy Eats 4081. He was asking about, I think he was asking about vivid dreams, I believe, or something like that.
Like vivid dream, or in the understanding of REM 4.
Well, both. I mean, what's your take on it? Oh.
So it's time to go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your signals, sis. Oh man. Are you there? Oh, yeah. Let me see. All right, so yeah, I don't know I don't know if you're able to hear me or not, Alicia, but you were cutting off. But okay, so Snoopy Eats 408 is asking, I'd love for you to do a nice breakdown on dreams and astral travel. Okay, so he was asking about dreams and astral travel. Cool. Um, if you want to retype your question, brother, like, what are you asking about astral travel? Because astral travel is like a very extensive subject. Like, Like, you want to astral travel, or you want to learn how to astral travel, or have you experienced astral travel? And about dreams, right? So let me touch on the subject about dreams, right? This is my spiritual experience, right? Dreams. Now, I said earlier that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience in a three-dimensional world, right? And so we are primarily spiritual beings. We are energetic beings, and everything is energy. Everything's vibrating, right? Whether it be solids, whether it be a tree and a rock, they're vibrating. They're molecules vibrating. There's energy. And this is why a lot of people, a lot of scientists and physicists themselves are saying that we live within a holographic projection, right? And that holographic projection is you guys call it the matrix, and the matrix is charged by the energetic output of the human race at a collective level. Now, when you guys experience the three-dimensional world here, when you guys are awake, you guys wake up and you brush your teeth, you look at yourself in the mirror, and what else? You eat, you drink coffee, you go to work and whatnot. You come back, you having a physical experience through the five senses. Now, because you are a spiritual being, your spirit somehow has to connect with the ethereal realms, right? Right? Because again, you went throughout the day eating food, going to work, you drank water because your physical body needs it. But the spiritual body, right? Your spirit, your inner man, the spirit man within yourself, whether it be a woman or a man, that she or he needs to eat, or they need to connect with the divine. So the only way, if you don't feed it when you're during your awakened days, right, when the awakened hours, if you don't feed it through spiritual practice, meditation, mostly, that's the most well-known spiritual practice. But if you're not doing any spiritual practice, your body obviously has a circadian rhythm, right? And one of the circadian rhythms is when your body basically uh, turns into a standby mode, and then certain functions shut down. And one of the greatest functions that is at a higher level is the spiritual self, and then that's when you travel to the ethereal realms, right? You're able to experience like what you guys call vivid dreams or lucid dreaming, right? Or you guys can have prophetic dreams, and once again, and this is when you have to begin to learn how to what do you call it, how to decipher, how to discern. That's the word. You have to learn how to discern what type of dream you're having, right? Because there's some dreams that they're just dreams that are a byproduct of what you watch an hour prior to you went to sleep. Let's say you watch a scary movie. Well, what your brain is capturing the imagery in your subconscious, and you getting those images blasted in the subconscious self, in the place where the dream aspect of the brain. And so when you go to sleep, the brain has to gather certain information that you went throughout the day, and sometimes people have dreams because of that. That's the byproduct of that. But there's other dreams that are prophetic, they're symbolic. You begin to dream that you're flying, or you begin to dream that you're falling down fast, or you begin to find yourself like that you have superpowers, and that you can actually manipulate the dream, and you become aware, right? That's when a vivid dream is when you become aware that you are dreaming, and you are aware within the spiritual realm that you are dreaming, and so you see yourself inside of a world, and you're like, wait a minute, I know I'm sleeping, but I'm out here. What do I do? And so that's when people begin to like, what would you call it? Well,
Most of most of the time when that happens, it's when you're in REM 4, and that's when you wake up.
mm,
But
right.
you can prevent that and then go deeper.
Right. Right. And so that's what I'm saying, that's when you can actually begin to you can do anything, right? You inside the dream world, you can practice spiritual aspects of many things, healing. You can go into meditation within the dream, and go, like the sister was saying, you can go with a dream within a dream, right? But again, it's pretty wild, man, because you can encounter certain entities in the dream world that are scary. You can go into battle in the dream world. You can see certain timelines, and this is basically when you guys can prophesy. You can have prophetic dreams. That's what you guys call lucid dreaming. And there's other dreams that are just very symbolic, like when you guys are in the sea or the ocean, in the waters, and the waters are raging, and the ocean is it's not blue but it's dark or chocolate, and there's a lot of symbolism. So that's when you guys begin to study like dream symbology, right? And so that's kind of the aspect of dreaming. That's like the aspect of dream is a world where the spirit can connect with the cosmic source, with source herself, and experience the spiritual instead of the material, because we experience the material uh every day, every day, for how many hours you guys are awake. You guys, what time you guys wake up? 7 o'clock. What time you guys go to bed? 10, 11 p.m. So imagine you have all that time where your physical body is having a physical experience, right? But a lot of times we forget to have a spiritual experience or a spiritual practice, and so that's when like the spirit man, the inner man, has to go into the ethereal realms through the dream worlds, right? And so that's what's going on with that. Yeah, well, the flying aspect is very common within uh, within the dream world. A lot of people have that dream. I've had it. Many people have had it. So it can be interpreted according to the situation that you're going through in that stage of your life when you had that dream. Because flying could mean many things, depending again on the on the physical experience of your life at that moment when you had that dream. So people, again, like the dreams, when you guys have dreams, is like the subconscious self is talking to your conscious self and telling you certain things that you have to pay attention to, or certain things that you got to look for, or warnings or prophecies. Or And again, sometimes dreams are just remnants of what you guys were watching in your TV systems an hour prior to you went to bed. So anyway, all right. So let me read this page real quick, and then we're probably gonna call it a night. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right. All right. I'm gonna read from. Let's see. I'm gonna read from this book. It's called Shamanism for Beginners: Walking with the World's Healers. Walking with the World's Healers of Earth and Sky by James Andretti. And I'm gonna read page. What is it? Roman numbers. What is that? That's 19. Page 19. Yeah, that's page 19 right there. Right. So we're gonna read from there. It's gonna be a few pages, and then after that, we're gonna call it a night. I don't want to take too much of your time, but it says. When Europeans, mainly French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, began widely exploring the Americas in the 1500s, they suddenly encounter a new world of reality and perception, right? Because a lot of them were Christians, right? They were following the Bible. In their travels, they came across certain special people within tribal communities who claim the ability to converse with spirits, plants, and animals, and to use these skills to heal or harm, divine the future, control the weather, and predict where animals could be found for hunting, among many other seemingly supernatural powers, right? The overwhelming majority of these European explorers and conquerors were evangelical Christians. You see that? They claim that they love God, and they did not take kindly to these people with quote unquote special talents, as they also did not take kindly to the quote sorcerers and quote witches that were killed by the tens of thousands in Europe during the general time period. This is what is called the Inquisition timelines, right? Where the Catholic Church went around through the papacy of Rome to try to evangelize the ancient world and try to destroy the ancient religion or the old religion, which I'm gonna touch a little bit in a minute. It says, then they put to death tens of thousands in Central and South America. Now the tens of thousands, that's a false figure, but when you guys do the research, we're talking about billions, right? Because when the Englishmen came on the side of the world in the Americas, right, they killed 77 million Native Americans. So that's just in North America. Like, let's not mention the Mayans. Let's not mention the what would you call it? The Aztecs, the Incas, the Arawaks, and whatnot, right? It says, back then, it was widely believed by sophisticated people in Europe, quote unquote sophisticated, right? Because when we look at the story, uh, uh, the metropolis of Tenochtitlan was the most advanced, better in every way, shape, and form than Venice back in those days. Venice or whatever, like one of those famous places in Europe back in those days. And I can, as a matter of fact, let me show you that. Right, so I'm gonna read from The Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids by Peter Tompkins, right? You guys know that this is my favorite book. It's my favorite book, bro. There's like a lot of jewels in here. Give me a minute. Oh, there it is right there. All right, so I'm on page page 9, right? First paragraph, it says, when the Spaniards first glimpsed the island capital of Tenochtitlan, glimmering like an exotic Venice at the end of a wide causeway with stunning palaces, temples, and pyramids, stuccoed pink with volcanic ash, rising from the cerulean waters of the lake. They thought they were dreaming, though many had seen the splendors of Rome and Constantinople. They were amazed at a city of 300 inhabitants, fed by freshwater aqueducts, laced with canals and carefully paved streets, adorned by arcaded squares twice as big as Salamanca's, serviced by a marketplace where 70,000 indigenous daily bought and sold 1,000 different products, from filigree jewelry to mountains of polychrome feathers, including those from the rare quetzal bird. The Spaniards were enchanted by such luxuries as botanical and zoological gardens, by elegantly tower palaces higher than the Cathedral of Seville, surrounded by large and beautiful private houses with fragrant gardens shaded by bright cotton awnings, where courtly nobles feasted on fruits and vegetables, sauces and soups, fish and meat, cakes and pies, varied by such delicacies as maguey grubs with hot chili. Even Mexicans were eating chili back in the day. That's pretty wild. Uh, yeah, so that's basically what they were watching. That's what they were watching. This is kind of like a drawing. So, anyways, so let's go back to where were we? Oh yeah, so back then it was widely believed by sophisticated quote unquote people in Europe that anyone in contact with spirits of any kind was evil, beyond help, and therefore indicatable, and necessarily in need of extermination. See, that's why when they came here, what did they do? They tricked a lot of the indigenous tribes. They broke 500 treaties, and they killed millions of indigenous tribes from North, Central, and South America. It says this mindset was carried to the Americas on the coattails of bloodshed from the previous century. You see that? A perfect example being the French heroine Joan of Arc, who would later become beatified as a Catholic saint, being burned at the stake in 1431 for the divine guidance she claimed to receive. This is a woman that was burned. This is the problem with, like, back in the day, a lot of the women were burned up at the stake because they were healers. They were into the healing aspects of their own spiritual path, right? They didn't subscribe to the idea of the Catholic Church. It says the intolerance of Christian Europeans towards the natives they quote discovered in the Americas continue for many centuries, and prejudices regarding indigenous people can still be felt and seen even today in many countries around the globe. And that's that's one of the battles that a lot of people in South America are going through by the Europeans, when you have the Portuguese government trying to destroy the Amazon, right? And so that's one of the missions of one of our brothers that comes here from the Amazon jungle to spread the message of to save Mother Earth, right? That's the whole point. It says during the 1600s, the culture that we now refer to as Russian began to spread into the vast region of northern Asia, now known as Siberia. It was in this time that many scholars believe that the word shaman was first used in a published text. It was by a Russian clergyman, Avakum Petrovich, who describes the activities of a Tungus shaman as a quote, villain of a magician, end quote, in his writings after being deported by the Russian Khazar to Siberia in 1661. The widespread colonization of Christian Europeans throughout the globe brought about diverse and, for the most part, derogatory reports of shamans as evil tricksters allied with demons and the devil. See, so that was the slander back in the day, that a lot of these shamans were basically devil worshippers and tricksters, which was not even true. and just like it was back in the day, it is the same today. Like, I'm on the shamanic pathway myself, just like many people are on their own shamanic pathway of healing themselves first and foremost. We are labeled as witches. We are labeled as uh, devil worshippers and demon worshippers and this and that and third. And it's the same thing. And just kind of like what King Solomon said back in the day, that which had been is that which shall be, and there's no new thing under the sun, right? Whatever things were going down in the 1500s, 1400s, 1700s, 1800s, whatever, right? A lot of this persecution against the healers of that time, well, it's nothing new. They're doing the same thing today, but in a different form, like I said earlier. A lot of the brothers from the Amazon, a lot of tribes from the Amazon are going through hard times because the government of Brazil is trying to destroy the lungs of the world. But anyways, the 1700s and the age of enlightenment, in which reason was advocated as the primary as the primary source and basis of authority, had little tolerance for shamans either. Developing in Germany, France, and Britain, the Enlightenment, quote unquote, spread throughout most of Europe, including Russia. Later, the American Declaration of Independence, the United States Bill of Rights, and the French Declaration of the Rights of Men and of the Citizens were all written and ratified by the philosophical principles of the age of reason, right? what what this did for the shamans and other mystical practitioners was profound. Why? Since reason dictated that what the shamans did was not possible, they were now simply viewed as frauds in the eyes of scientific, reasonable thinkers, right? That was the idea back in the day. They were using their reason to say that the shamans were not really healing people, that the shamans didn't have powers, that the shamans were tricksters, that the shamans were worshiping devils, and and that's how they were labeled by the reasonable thinkers of that age because of the age of reason. Being that they were simply frauds, then they could not possibly be in contact with demons or the devil. And so the violent extermination of these deranged, quote unquote, people was no longer necessary or justified. And that's what they stopped the persecution of them, right? But prior to that, they were literally killing them all, exterminating them all throughout the 1400s, from 1492 all the way to, whenever the Aztec Empire fell. Um, all right. However, steeped into rationalism, the budding scientists and philosophers of the 1700s were this time period of knowledge also paradoxically produced a fascination in some European circles with shamans, and many research exhibitions were sponsored to examine these quote unquote occult phenomena. Actual understanding would come much later, but the seed was being planted into the consciousness that maybe there was more than rational science to explain the world. See that? So this is where we begin to see, like, they begin to take the shamanism ways a little bit serious, because now they're understanding that there's something to it, right? This is where you guys begin to hear about the mystics, right? A lot of the mystics of ancient times, the ancient mystics of Egypt, the ancient mystics of the Sumerians, the ancient mystics of the Babylonians, the ancient Akkadian mystics, and all the mysticisms that predates all the major civilizations, going all the way back to the Atlanteans and stuff. So they were all saying the same thing. A lot of these practices that a lot of shamans were doing, it was knowledge that was passed down to the shamans, right? Because a lot of the shamans were basically like passing down the knowledge orally to the next generation when they had sons and children. So and so it's the same way with the Essenes. And this is why, that's the path that I'm on right now, where I'm on the Essenian healing. I'm doing Essenian healing for 7 years. Uh, well, they were really starting deep, like for 10 to 15 years, but I've been doing some work for the past 15 years myself in many aspects of spiritual healing. And you guys know that I grew up, my grandma was a healer as well. She was a curandera. So I grew up watching her and stuff, and I've always wondered, like, why is my grandma healing with her hands and herbs and chants and this and that and the third? So me growing up, like I was always fascinated with this idea that my grandma was like laying hands on somebody and she was healing the people and helping them with their diseases and whatnot. But anyway, so so it's I'm on the initiation of the I'm on the Essenes initiation right now, and I just started like doing cold plunges for the past 22 days. Yeah, man. So it's no joke when you guys go into really cold waters in the middle of winter, and you know plunge yourself into that water, like your entire system becomes energized. And this is where we begin to dive deep into the science behind cold plunges and what they do. So let me read you just a little bit of this of the research that's been out there, when it comes to cold plunges and whatnot. So give me a minute, and then we'll resume in a minute. Let me see, where are we? Welcome to live, everybody. Welcome to live. Thank you for being here. There it is. All right, it says the Essenes healing, right? And this is a post that I did on my Facebook account. So it says that was called day plunge number 19. It says Essenes healing. It says this form of healing is called this way because 2,000 years ago, at the time of Master Mystic Jesus, right, Christ, the Essenes were above all extremely well known as therapists. When there were serious health problems, everyone were contacting them because people knew that their studies were serious and in depth. Since Essenes took 10 to 12 years to complete such studies, which gave them a perfect knowledge of the human body, the physical body, and considerably knowledge of all the subtle bodies. The subtle bodies is talking about like the energetic layers of the energetic body, because you have a body, you have a soul, you have a spirit. Well, the spirit also has a body, and that's what you guys call the subtle energies. It says, in addition, there was all that we could today define as the physiological aspect, and also the missions and sufferings of the soul, right? So it was really a way of looking at the global being, and that's how the scenes view the entire being, like from the soul, body, and spirit. It was all globally, like the sister was saying earlier, like the balance, the marriage between yourself, your spirit, and source. That's what you guys call uh, the alchemy, right? That's the true alchemy is when you guys are able to when we are able to marriage, becoming in become one yahad with the divine, when we connect completely with the divine. And that's when you guys begin to know. That's what the Gnostics were speaking about when they spoke about gnosis is to know. But that to know, that knowledge, is not knowledge that comes from books and whatnot. It's knowledge that is downloaded, is taught to you by angels and ascended masters or teachers that are not from this plane of existence, right? And that's what the scenes were doing. A lot of them were walking with angels back in the day, and they themselves were separated from the nation of Israel as well. And so that's why a lot of them were also persecuted by the Roman Empire back in the day, and that's why they had to go underground. And a lot of their teachings were hidden away in the caves in the desert. That's why where you guys found the DSS, you guys found the Gnostic Nahamadis and whatnot. It says the goal of the scene teachings was to find the perfect harmony between the 7 subtle vehicles of the body, balancing the 4 inferior bodies throughout the elimination of impurities, producing an overall improvement in health and welfare of the denser body, which is our physical body, To achieve this harmony, it was necessary that the Essenes practice various daily rituals of purification, observing the holy books, right? Because they even had books that go back to the days of Enoch, and a lot of the a lot of the teachings that they were teaching within the community of the Qumran and the Essenes over there in the desert. It was knowledge that was orally passed down to the priest, to some of the priests that basically broke off from the nation of Israel, because they didn't want to follow what the other Israelites were following, which was a lot of these ideologies of the Mosaic law. Now, I told you guys earlier that I spent my entire week reading the book of creation, the book of the scenes. I literally read all the four books, and I came across like really powerful information regarding like how a lot of the laws of Moses was given by Moses himself. It wasn't given by God, and the reason why it in the book of the scenes, right? Book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, it gives you the whole breakdown on what was happening with Moses, right? Moses gave 10 times the law that was given back in the day, because the original law is only the 10 commandments, right? That's it. There's no more. But because the Israelites were what would you call it? They were hard-headed people. They were oh my gosh, they were hard-headed, that they couldn't even follow the 10 commandments. So Moses, in the mercy, because Moses was like a very humble man, the Bible says that he was the most humblest man within the entire nation of Israel. He was soft-spoken and humble, that he had mercy for the people. So he wrote down like sub commandments below the sub commandments, 10 times the commandments of the Torah, right? And so that's why you guys find certain laws that have nothing to do with divinity at all. And so within the book of the scenes, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, it tells you that it also tells you that the Essenes had the knowledge of the first Essenian, which was Enoch, because Enoch was the one that was walking with angels way back in the day, just like the Essenes were walking with angels 2,000 years ago, right? There was a secret um I don't know, what do you want to call it, a secret gathering of Hebrew men and women that gathered in the desert, that were purifying themselves, that were learning the physical body, the spiritual body, the subtle bodies, and the aspects of science behind the healing methods that they were using, because a lot of the healing methods that they were using, they go back to oral traditions that go back to Enoch himself, because once again, they themselves say that Enoch was the first seen on the planet. Anyway, so that's why I'm on that path right now. I'm on the Essenian healing right now, and so today was my 22nd plunge. But I'm gonna read you what the what the book of Josephus says about cold plunges. Right? It says, the work of Flavius Josephus, War of the Jews, book 2, chapter 8, verse 5. All right, it says, and as for their piety towards God, it is very extraordinary, for before sun rising they speak not a word about profane matters. You see that? That's the first thing that you're supposed to do, like when you guys are on this path. Like the moment you wake up, don't get on your phone and look at Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and whatnot. But it says, but put on certain prayers which they have received from their forefathers, as if they made a supplication for its rising. After these, every one of them are sent away by their curators or healers to exercise some of those arts. The arts is talking about the healing arts, wherein they are skilled, in which they labor with great diligence until the fifth hour, which is basically 12 o'clock of the day. It says, after which they assemble themselves together again into one place, and they have clothed themselves in white veils. They then bathe their bodies in cold waters, which goes into cryo, is one of the branches of cryotherapy. When you guys look it up. Let me see. Yeah, we're almost done. I'm just gonna bring this out because I know there's a lot of brothers that once again are completely misunderstanding this idea of what I'm doing, and so they go out there and share my post, and in hopes to try to slander my name, which is pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. But it is what it is, so I'm only here to share these for those who have an ear, those who have an eye, and those who are on the same spiritual vibration. It says, historically, various cultures have used cold water as cryotherapeutic practice, an umbrella term for therapies involving cold temperatures, for thousands of years, according to a review published in February 2022 in the European Journal of Applied Physiology. Plunging your body in cold water causes blood vessels to constrict, known as vasoconstriction. When blood vessels contract, they push blood toward your organs, says Jonathan Leary, a doctor of chiropractic medicine and the CEO and founder of the Remedy Place, a wellness facility in New York City and California that offers ice bath classes. It says, once you get out of the cold water, your blood vessels open up, known as vasodilation. Dr. Leary says, these allows oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to return to your tissue to help remove waste products such as lactic acid buildup. If left to sit in the muscles, that waste may delay healing, according to Rochester Regional Health. So, and some of the benefits is enhancing recovery from exercise, reducing pain, improving circulation, boosting your mood, building resilience. And so that's one of the paths that I'm on right now, and and it goes in connection to what I was reading earlier from this book right here. The shamanism, the way of the shamans that was taking place in the Americas back in the 1400s, 1500s, 16, 1700s, right? Part three. So I was saying that whenever you want to speak, whenever you speak against the status quo and the injustice that's being done, and you bring out their little skeletons from the closet out into the light so that everybody can see, well, we gotta shut them down. We gotta cancel that guy or get rid of that guy right there or that girl over there. And that's exactly what happened with Julian Assange. That's exactly what happened with Edward Snowden and whatnot. And I know a lot of people are gonna flip out about it, but at the end of the day, truth is what matters. And there's a lot of lies out there within, you guys know, just follow the rabbit hole, right? But peace out. Shalom. Peace. Yeah, so by the early and mid 1900s, there was enough diverse knowledge and study of shamans throughout the globe that the beginnings of a true cross-cultural view of shamanism was born, right? Anthropologists and historians began to document the similarities in practices of shamans around the world, which was so followed by documented participation of researchers and observers in the shamanic rituals with plant entheogens uh, i- i- um, entheogenes, it's worthwhile to note that the synthesis of the hallucinogen mescaline by Austro-Hungarian chemist Ernst Spath and lysergic acid dithalamide, which is LSD, by Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann, came about during this general time period. Why? Because they were diving deep into what the shamans were already doing prior to the colonization of 1492. Right, the shamans' knowledge, the oral traditions, was passed down to generations upon generations throughout the ages. Right, there was no written form. This knowledge is passed down through oral traditions, and a lot of these oral traditions go back to the times of Enoch himself, going back to the times of creation. Right, a lot of this knowledge goes back to the times immemorial. But obviously, throughout the ages, once again, we read earlier back in the pages that uh, the colonizers, the Spaniards, the French, the English, they were persecuting a lot of the indigenous tribes in Mesoamerica, from North, Central, and South America, and so that's why we have this indoctrination of Christianity. The Bible was pushed out as an idea, as a form of religious, and so that's why a lot of the indigenous were converted, and a lot of them that didn't want to get converted. Watch this, right? Watch this. A lot of them that didn't want to get converted. You guys know what happened? I'm gonna show you what happened, right? And so you guys are gonna begin to witness, right? And this is for the a lot of the religious folks out there that believe in the Bibles to say that the Bible is a divine book when it's not a divine book. And anybody that would like to get the smoke on a debate, I can debate you on any topic on the matter. So I'm not afraid to challenge your views as well. uh, all right. It says, this is page 16 from Mysteries of the Mexican Pyramids. Right there, it says, as land was stolen from the natives, great famines ensued, yet heavy taxes were laid on the indigenous. Those who failed to pay were tortured to death. Indians who refused to join the Catholic Church were horse whipped. See that? They were lynched. We're talking about many 200, 300 plus years before the, no, 200 plus years before the so-called African Americans came here on the side of the world as slaves, right? So a lot of the indigenous tribes were being whipped by their masters, right? It says the indigenous who refused to join the Catholic Church were horse whipped, had their heads shaved, and were forbidden to hold office or title in their villages for failing to attend mass or for practicing any of his old rites. You see that? This is the old religion that the indigenous were following. They were following the true religion, which was your connection with the divine, right? Not some made up religion telling you that a man died for your sins, right? That Christ died for your sins. Now you have to bow down to a dead man, right? Supposedly, who shed your blood for your sins, which again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I've been out here telling you guys the story, showing you guys the information, bringing you guys back to the ancient texts that predate the New Testament for 120 years, showing you that the original Christians did not believe in a Christ that was crucified, right? So that ideology was brought to the Americas, right? It was brought to the Americas through the conquest of 1492, right? And it says the indigenous who refused to join the Catholic Church were horse whipped, had their heads shaved, and were forbidden to hold office or title in their villages. You see, like the shamans, because the shamans were the true leaders, the Tlatoni, the shamans, the healers. They were the priest. For failing to attend mass, for practicing any of his old rites, an Indian could receive 100 lashes. According to the Spaniards, Indians were supposed to know only the Our Father, the Ave Maria Creed, and the 10 Commandments. Reading and writing were considered as dangerous as the devil. You see that? And so that's why you have a lot of the Spaniards that came and conquered the shamans, the indigenous tribes, which again, the word Indian, it's the word Indian goes back into the Latin Vulgate, which means indeo, indeos. Indeos means in God, or the children of God. And the reason why is because a lot of the indigenous tribes, they were practicing the old religion, which was you using the plants, using your divine self to connect with the total, with the all, with the source, right? Anyway, so that was it on that. I mean, I don't want to really. I mean, there's just a lot that we can talk about on here, So, but we're gonna leave it at that. So, all right, let's go back to the other book, and then we're almost done. But those who stuck around, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Once again, this is just a fraction of what I've been what I've been up to, what I've been studying, and whatnot. All right. During the psychedelic 1960s, which is basically the hippie era, right? You guys remember that? Many people were experimenting with these new mind expanded drugs, quote unquote, among many other organic hallucinogens employed by indigenous shamans. You see that? Why? Because a lot of these shamans, they brought this knowledge that was given to them by by the Great Spirit himself, and the Great Spirit himself is the one that shared this knowledge with the indigenous tribes, going back to the times of Enoch, even going back to the times of Adam as well. When you guys study the book of the scenes, the book of creation, the book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, which I already read myself, and and it's such wonderful and powerful information to know. That one of these days I'm gonna bring it out as well. All right, cool. All right, so it says, yeah, so the hallucinogens employed by indigenous shamans and the interest in the correlation between psychedelic experiences and shamanism became a fashionable topic, right? Which is basically what you guys see today. There is a great psychedelic awakening all over the world. A lot of people, actors, actresses, movie directors, movie stars, you name it, athletes, CEOs, bro, you name it, they're all traveling south to South America to fulfill the prophecy of the condor. The prophecy of the condor is basically when the people of the ego and the people of the what would you call it? The people of the ego and the people of the condor are uniting together. Why? Because we are at a crossroads right now, right? We are at a crossroads right now where you see humanity uh, going down the pathway of destruction, right? You guys are witnessing what's going on with Russia and United States. You guys know that the narrative is that Russia is the evil one, and yeah, let everybody go against Russia when in fact Russia is not to blame. But once again, we find ourselves in a spiritual battle, right? This is a spiritual battle. We're battling against principalities and cosmic entities out of these realms. That's what the Bible says, even in Ephesians 6:12, right? That we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and cosmic powers and authorities out of these realms, right? So, let me see. So that's what's going on, and so this is why there's a revival of like plant medicine. There's a revival. There's shamans. There's healers. And the word shamans, again, I'm gonna go into that in a minute as well, because I want to clarify that word shaman. The word shaman is just it's a broad term, that is being used, and I like to break it down as well so that there's no misunderstanding on that. But welcome to the live, everybody. Welcome to the live. We're almost done. We're almost done. So hang in there. Hang in there. You guys are doing great, right? So, all right. This is page 24. It says during the 1970s, interest in shamanism blossomed, and as a modern people, in the form of both anthropologists and spiritual seekers, continue their investigations. We saw a radical increase in the amount of articles and books available on the subject during the next decades. In 1980, anthropologist Michael Harner, who had previously written about hallucinogens and shamanism, released a book titled The Way of the Shaman, in which he describes what he terms quote unquote core shamanism and shamanic practices without hallucinogens that are open to anyone who wishes to learn them. And this is basically like going into like the aspects of yoga, meditation, breath work, because when you guys begin to do like, when you guys incorporate like any spiritual practice such as meditation, breath work, there's like over 100 ways to do yoga. There's not just one way to do yoga, there's 100 ways to do yoga. There's Kundalini yoga, which is a very powerful form of meditation that I do not recommend to do it if you're beginning to your spiritual path. Like that's there's dangers on doing the awakening the Kundalini within yourself when we're not ready. When we haven't done the groundwork of the shadow work. First and foremost, the shadow work has to be done first. The foundation has to be done first. We all have to work on on our root chakra, which deals with like our sexual self, the passions, the anger, the foundation, the baseline of getting rich, money, fame, and this and that and third, like all the root chakra. Basically, that's how the world is in operating. The flight, flee and flight, fly or fight and flee, or fight or fly. Yeah, fight or flight response of the system of your body, right? Which is all based on traumatic experiences that go back to thousands of years because of the genetic memory that we acquire as we are born into the planet, and the traumatic experiences get passed down at a genetic level. There's a thing of what they call the genetic memory, right? This is experiences that are passed down through the genetic memory. So it says Harner's core shamanism, based on guided imagery and rhythmic drumming techniques, although highly criticized in many circles, was another major evolution of the portrayal of shamanism in the Western mind, and is often credited as the central forces behind the current neo-shamanic and New Age revival of interest in shamanism. What we have currently is very complex situation when discussing the topic of shamanism. On one hand, the authentic interest of people seeking alternative spiritual practices and healing techniques has inspired the exploitation of indigenous shamans for profit, and the creation of self-appointed shamans who are actually highly skilled businessmen and not shamans at all. You see, and this is basically where we get into like really touchy subjects of a lot of a lot of Westerners that are traveling to South America, and they're basically exploiting the indigenous tribes down there. Now, I'm not speaking for everybody, for all the Westerners that are going to South America and using the shamanic teachings and ways and practices of the shamans of South America to try to make money off of people, right? Now, I'm not talking about everybody, but there's you guys will know them out there. You guys, if you guys are on a spiritual path, when you guys sit down with like some of these places, you guys will know that if this is just about money, or is this about helping the people, helping the world, helping yourself, helping the community? Now, I know that everything has a cost, and you know, certain things have to be paid, places have to be rented, this and that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the exploitation that I've seen, right, in certain places. And again, you guys will come across them, and you guys will know. The spirit will tell you who they are. So I'm not here to point fingers at anybody, but yeah. So that's basically what's going on today as well. So that's why I tell you to be careful when you guys get involved in your own self cultivation. When you guys are awakening, when you guys are coming out of religious institutions, when you guys are coming out of religious dogmas, you guys are gotta be careful, and self cultivate yourselves, strengthen thy body, thy soul, and thy mind, and thy spirit, to be able to discern who is who is who. It says, then there are the authentic indigenous shamans that are keeping their tribal traditions alive even to this day. And there's also a revival of tribal shamanic traditions among indigenous communities that lost most or all their traditions via intolerance and suppression by the ruling governments of their respective countries, right? And so that's what I was talking about earlier about when I was able to sit down with like a beautiful brother, a beautiful soul, a divine being, a priest of the stars, which is a brother that I met this last year, and I had the honor and the privilege to sit down with the brother and learn beside him and learn the what would you call it, the oral traditions from his tribe. And he was sharing to us that the Portuguese government of Brazil is destroying the Amazon. They're stealing their land. They're raping their women. They're killing their women. And as a matter of fact, uh, he is like a survivor of that genocide. He shares his testimony. I think I spoken about this in one of my previous podcasts. You guys can go check it out. But there's a lot when it comes to the spiritual shamanic healing. It's becoming a thing. It's becoming a reality as more people begin to awaken from the slumber, from the religious slumber. It says scientists that are open to learning and studying the knowledge of shamans with regard to medicinal plants and pharmaceuticals, and psychologists and doctors that are investigating and employing shamanic methods of mind body healing and integrative medicine. We are moving into a new paradigm of human consciousness as the human community reaches 7 million and our planet's resources continue to diminish. And more people look for alternative strategies in healing humanity's relationship with the planet and with each other. It could be that the holistic techniques of shamanism will play a key part. You see that? This is especially true in those parts of the world where women are no longer suppressed, and patriarchal governments and religions are being challenged. You see that? And we're going to end with this, and we're going to call it a night. But thanks for watching, everybody. Since one of the main tenets of shamanism is the restoration and maintenance of balanced systems, whether with the health of the human being, a community, or the world in general. These renew balance between the feminine and masculine certainly seems like a step in the right directions. See that? So that's what I wanted to share. Just a small fraction on the on the path that I've been on. I'm going back to the old religion, which is uh, learning that you are a divine being. You know, like Christ said. He said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Right? We are divine beings experiencing a three-dimensional world. Right? And the world has been lied into these ideologies that Christ died for your sins, that a man was crucified so that you can believe in that man and you can put your trust in that man, and in that blood, that human sacrifice. Like if you guys really think about it, you guys are subscribing to human sacrifice, which is basically all throughout Torah. The Torah speaks about human sacrifice and animal sacrifice as well. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that there's another way, and the Essenes, right? The Essenes of the Qumran in the desert, they were on the path of awakening their souls, their minds, connecting with the divine straight through, right? And so that's the path that I'm on. And again, if you guys have any questions, I'm always here to answer any of your questions. Or whatever. uh it's all about connecting with the divine. It's all about going back to your past, going back to the root, going back to the foundation, like doing the foundation work of the shadow work, acknowledging the darkness of the world, that it's not just about light and love, and even though that's the highest of vibrations, right? But there is more than to life, than what we believe, right? There's more to life than what we believe, than what we were accustomed to. So with that, I'm gonna call it a night. Once again, thanks for watching, everybody. Anybody has any questions, type it in, let me know. Anybody has any questions? Yeah, Yishai, I heard about that. Yeah, I was reading about Carlos Castañeda, for sure, for sure. But shalom, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for tuning in once again. We're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna share the link just in case anybody that wants to come in before I log out. But other than that, thank you, Alicia, for coming on the show. I know that you were having troubles with the internet access, so but thanks for sharing, everybody. The link is right there. Once again, I I invite anybody from any religion, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a follower, whether you're a deacon, or a rabbi, or whatever your titles are. I'm not concerned about that. We can have a beautiful discussion on the matter, and let me know. I'm always here. If not, you guys can find me on Facebook. You guys can drop a comment on some of my YouTube channels or YouTube videos. And if you guys want me to answer any questions, I always share the link for anybody to come in and speak your piece. I know that I was part of a group over there and on Facebook with Jeremiah and Joshua and everybody else that are very indoctrinated into their belief systems of the Torah, and in a very religious mindset that I used to be part of. I understand what they're going through. I understand why they act the way they do, because they're indoctrinated. So I do understand. So because I understand, because I've been there, because I've read their Bibles, because I've read the texts, because I've been a Christian. I was a Christian for years. I was part of the Black Hebrew Israelites for 8 years. Prior to that, I was a Christian for 12, 15 years. I was a part of the worship leader. I was the music director of my church back in the day. And one of these days, I'm gonna do a mini documentary on my life, so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from. So So I've been on the path, and I've been questioning stuff. I've been excommunicated from certain religious institutions because I've questioned their text. I've questioned their books. I've questioned their doctrines, and because I question their stuff, all of a sudden, I might be worshiping this or that or whatever, the slander typical campaign that they throw against me. But I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be part of these this great awakening of first of all my own soul, the healing of my own body, my mind, the alignment of my body and my mind with the divine self, right? With the Father, right? It's not about religion, it's about your own spiritual realization, your divine awakening, right? It's coming out of the egg of creation. Right. So, a lot of people are leaving the Black Hebrew Israelite cults. A lot of people are leaving the the Christian church. A lot of people are leaving Jehovah Witnesses cults. A lot of people are unsubscribing from the Bible because they're realizing that they're following traditions of men, right? It's just traditions of men that lead to nowhere but slavery, hatred, division, and genocide. And it saddens me to see a lot of people out there, are still following the same rhetoric that I was following 8 years ago, 2 years ago, as a matter of fact, right? Because like I fully dived in deep into this whole awakening of my soul 2 years ago when the pandemic took over the world, and everybody everybody just completely like lost their minds with the idea of, oh, like the virus. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't want to share too much because my video might be taken down because of it, just like my other videos. But I dive deeper into my soul awakening, my mind awakening, the healing of my body, the aligning of my soul and my body with the divine, right? Being able to eat right. I stopped, I didn't drink, I didn't drink beer, I didn't get drunk, but I used to drink one or two like with my brothers and stuff, but now I stopped drinking completely because now I'm on the Essenian healing path, and I don't take oaths. I don't do oaths and stuff. You can't do promises unless you know that you're gonna fulfill the promise, right? So I didn't do any promises, but I am disciplining myself to stay away from alcohol and stay away from meats. I'm gonna go into eating more greens, more herbs, fruits, and whatnot. And yeah, that's the path that I'm gonna be going on. And eventually, what I will be doing is a juice fast. I want to do a 100-day juice fast, which will become later. So right now I'm on that Essenian healing path. Like I showed you guys earlier, what the Essenes were doing and what they were about. I think I read you guys a little bit, so you guys can research for yourselves. But it's been such a wonderful time for me, learning about these divine ways to heal your mind, the divine ways to heal your mind, your body, uh, uh, the divine ways, or the rituals that you guys can do to purify your minds, purify your soul, and cleanse your spirits from any parasitical entities, right? Because once again, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in a warfare between spiritual entities. There is such a thing as spiritual entities, and I know a lot of people talk about the egregor. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about egregor. Well, the egregor are basically like entities that you create in your mind. So that's like another thing that you can, because the mind in itself is like the most powerful creator machine, right? You can create realities. So a lot of people are experiencing manifestations and quantum jumpings and whatnot, but that's a subject for another day. But I'm on the Essenian healing path, or the shamanic ways, or the way of the scenes, if you guys want to call it that. And it's been wonderful. I'm gonna continue to do it. I'm gonna continue to do cold plunges for an entire year, every day. Like I said, I've been doing it for the past 22 days so far, and it's pretty. So yeah, so that's what I'm on right now, and it's been 22 days. I have many months to go, but yeah, it takes it's a whole program of 7 to 10 years, where you learn a lot of stuff. And the scenes they had, well, I don't want to share too much on that, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, this was the Ancient Watching Friday Night Miami. I want to thank everybody that came out and checked us out. Those who stayed to all the way until the end, shout out, Tawara, for staying all the way to the end. Thank you very much for staying until the end. And we'll see you guys around. Those who know me, again, I will be doing a mini tour throughout the country this summer, this spring and summer, where I will be sitting down with I will be creating sacred circles so that we can sit down and dive deep into the oral traditions of the ancient priest. For those who want to dive deeper into that, inbox me, let me know. If you guys have my number, you guys can reach me on my number, text me, call me. If you guys are on Facebook, you guys can reach me on Facebook, and we can set up something out. Other than that, you guys, I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna do my next live, because I'm right now I'm very very busy with this entire path, and it's just been challenging in every way. When you guys do like real shadow work, when you guys dive deep into your own darkness and begin to heal the inner child and and your past generations, right? It really takes a toll on your spirit, on your mind, and it just energetically it just take a toll on you. So those who are on the on the shamanic healing, those who are on the pathway of freeing yourselves from the bondage of the god of this world, is be patient. Do not rush it. It just takes time. And everybody has their own way to deal with it. Not everybody's a way of healing, not everybody's way of quote unquote enlightenment or awakening is gonna be the same. So do not try to copy nobody. Like, you have your own way to heal. You're supposed to have your own way to like do things, according to your own spiritual self, according to your body, according to your mind, according to your capabilities, according to your gifts as well, because there's a lot of gifted people out there. I know there's a lot of people gifted out there. So a lot of these gifts are hidden away because they're afraid to bring them out because of what the church is gonna say.
Que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz. que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz, que florezca la luz de Managua, la luz de Layam, la luz de Managua, la luz de Shema. La luz de Managua, la luz del amor, la luz de Managua, la luz de Shema.
All right, everybody, that was it. Thanks for watching. Once again, this is your brother Shamar with the Ancient Watchman. I'm always available to talk with you guys if you guys want to talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I like to, if you guys have any questions, I would like to explain what I bring out and why I bring certain things out. I know certain brothers or sisters out there in Texas as well. They have questions about why I believe what I believe now and why I stopped subscribing to certain ideologies of the Bible. And so you guys can reach out to me. You guys can reach out to me. I'm always available to talk and answer any of you guys' questions. So, but other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys around. Peace out.